I have been painting through the years since I was first married, which was about 30 years ago. I went to a florist and got a job, and it was called Petals and Palette. And at that store, they had painting classes, and I took a set, and I fell in love with it. I'm a people person, and I only like to paint things with faces. And so I started off painting fairy tales and working on illustrations, and I painted a frog a lot called Sir Leaps-a-lot. And I've got a little story written about Sir Leaps-a-lot. He was the little frog that got in trouble in school a lot because he couldn't sit still. Then I got into photography. My youngest daughter was at horse shows every weekend, and I couldn't take paint to paint with her, and so I took photography and I took cameras, and I just got, every weekend I would take 2,000 and 3,000 pictures every weekend and come home. And I learned that I only like to take pictures of people, really, or faces. I just like faces. I do weddings and seniors and babies, and I love doing creative photo shoots. Like, I'll take a senior, and instead of just doing normal pictures, we'll maybe dress up like Little Red Riding Hood and go out in the woods with Little Red Riding Hood. Or I had a maternity shoot, and I put her in the river and with the fog, and I just like to do really creative things. I take a lot of pictures of homeless people, and I really don't call them bums, I call them people of character. They have so much character in their face. There's a painting I have right here, and he was a little man. He was on the street, and he had just had a bird fall out of a tree, off of a building, and he had caught it. And I went up and talked to him. His name was Mike, and he said, well, I just found this little bird in this plant. It's fallen off the building, and he was wanting to feed it. And that's when I snapped that photograph. I love homeless people. I think they are so unique, and I love to talk to them and ask them how they got where they got, because I know most of them at one point were just like the rest of us. I like to paint them. This man I'm painting right here is not homeless. He was sitting on the sidewalk in the light, and I walked past him at a festival here in our town called Rhythm and Roots. I would love to know more about him. When I'm painting, I don't know which ones I'm going to paint, which ones I'm not, but I came home and his face just haunted me. And so I keep coming back to it. And I actually have him full body, but I cropped him and got him here, and look at his little eyes. I mean, I just wonder who he is. And so sometimes when I'm painting him, I make up stories about him. So I take these people, and I like to come home and put them on Photoshop and paint from Photoshop. And so I've moved from the fairy tale world into the world of fine art portraits. I'm not really interested in painting a picture somebody wants me to paint. I like to paint what makes my heart sing. I like to paint what speaks to me and what calls me. And I do like to capture someone's spirit while I'm trying to paint them. I do try to capture their spirit. I think art is finding out who God made you, and who you are comes out on your piece of paper. And I find so many people today who do not think that they are artists. But the actual painting, people say, I don't know how to draw, or I don't know how to paint. But how many years have they spent working at trying to hone a skill? And I think your creativity is God-given. But I think learning the techniques of how to use a paintbrush or how to draw can be learned by anybody. I think that I was born an artist because I was born with my unique way of seeing the world. I think we're all born with a unique way to see the world. And I think I've always been an artist, even when there were times I didn't know that I was an artist. I think I will die an artist, but beyond that, I think when I go to heaven, I think when we get to heaven, that we'll continue being who we are. God made us who we are, and I think when I get to heaven, I'll get to be an artist there, except in heaven, maybe I won't ever have any mistakes. And all my paintings will just turn out perfectly the first time. Maybe it won't be as hard work. I do have a website. It's raisinsimaginations.com.